Hello everybody, it's me JTA Hans here, and today I'm going to be doing my second unboxing, demo and review from my flagship purchases, Henry Hussell. So just kind of like for some context on how I actually managed to get him, I was going to get Punchy and Bog Zombie at flagship. Punchy sold within like 30 seconds, so that was kind of annoying. So I kind of just waited around. They started pulling out stock from like the back. So I was kind of over there by the door waiting to see what they were going to pull out. And at first I was going to get a Towering Clown because they pulled one of him out from the back room. And I was like, oh wow, I mean, Towering Clown, he's a pretty good find. I mean, like, even everyone there was saying the same thing. They were like, oh wow, you know, you're really lucky you got that. And I was like, yeah, I know. But I mean, in reality, I didn't really want him that much. Not that I like don't like him. It's just I'm not really like going after him. And also it was a 2019 model, which is significantly worse than the previous years. So I was kind of iffy on it. And then they started bringing out some other stuff. They brought out a few shorties, and I was kind of tempted to get him because I do really like shorty, but I didn't get him because I felt I didn't really need him that much. But then they pulled out a Henry Hussell, and I was like, you know what, honestly, I think I'm just gonna go for this. So I really quickly asked if I could have it, and they said sure, and I bought him. Henry's been one that I really liked in 2021, but he grew on me a lot like over the season and then up until now. And honestly, I'm really glad I was able to get him. I haven't set him up or anything yet, of course. It's, you know, I'm waiting to do that for this video. But I mean, like, from everything I've seen from him, from seeing him in person, all the videos and everything, I genuinely love this guy so much. And once again, just as Bog Zombie is one of my favorite zombie props of all time, Henry's definitely one of my favorite clown props of all time. He has such a unique color scheme and a unique animation, and it's just such a creative and like clever animatronic. So before I open anything up, I'm gonna show the box, show all the angles of it, and yeah, you've kind of seen this the whole time I've been filming, but here's the front. Arms move up and down, revealing your card before his head pops up for a shrieking surprise. Lights up with white LED eyes and speaks 3 sinister phrases. His stock photo is really nice. That's what I love about his box especially. He has such like a nice stock photo. I don't know what it is about it, but it just looks really satisfying. Let's turn him around. Same text here. And he has handles on the side of the box too, which were super helpful in carrying him. And over here, stands 5 feet, 9 inches tall. So, yep, there's another stock photo of him. Oh. The back of the box with his story. And then here's this, which shows the animation. So, yeah, pretty neat. Interesting detail. I think the one in the spirit videos and in the stock photos is definitely like an earlier prototype, because the released ones have a lot more detail and like in the paint on the face, whereas the one in the stock photos and in the spirit video, it doesn't really like have any at all. So yeah, that's interesting. But anyway, I'm gonna start opening him up, and we're gonna set him up and then demo him and review him. So oops, sorry about that. Yeah, all right, so here's all his stuff out of the box. You can see in here, well, still kind of in a box, but out of the main box. You can see his head is in here, his clothing, his shoes, all that. And here's his instructions, all right here. The ones in the instructions, the prototype in the instructions looks a lot different. I think it's just the paint mainly, but he looks a lot different there. And you can see even over here, pretty interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna start putting them together, and I will keep you guys posted. Okay guys, sorry for not making any checkpoints in the video for like the assembly of him. I really was gonna, I know this is kind of like a random jump from one point to another, but I was really gonna, and then I got completely distracted assembling him, trying to make sure I was doing everything right, and I just kind of had my phone down and didn't really look at it while I was putting him together. But I do have some things to say about his assembly that I guess can make up for that. I'm sure there's other videos showing him being put together on YouTube. You don't have to directly look at mine if you want to see that. But I will say some things that are important to know and talk about his assembly. Firstly, it's not really that difficult if you know how to use like a screwdriver and stuff. It's like, I know a lot of people say that, you know, his setup is very hard. Some people say it's pretty hard or difficult, but in reality, I mean, at least for me, it wasn't that hard. It's very, very straightforward in the instructions. You just have to check and make sure you're doing everything right. Like, that's why I kind of wasn't focused on like making the checkpoints. I totally forgot I was even making a video at that point, because I was just focused on making sure I was doing everything right. There's a lot of small things you could miss if you're trying to go too fast and everything and assemble it under a certain time frame. So yeah, just be aware of that. Be very careful putting them together. Make sure you don't miss any steps. I mean, like, once again, it's just a little more in-depth than other animatronic setups. There's the snap lock pulls still, you know, wire harnesses, things you'd normally find on other animatronics. But this one just has a few more steps that are a little different compared to others, but that's just kind of what Crazy Create does, and you just kind of have to deal with it. Overall, though, the end product, I think, is phenomenal. I think the whole structure of him, his whole body, his proportions and everything are fantastic. And when you set him up right and fix him up all properly, I think he's definitely one that's just such a cool prop. I'm really, really, really blown away with him. One thing you might want to do, if you want him to pop up faster, is you could put paper towels in the cap on his pop-up mech before you put it in. There's that little cap that snaps onto it. There, maybe I can visualize it. It's kind of like, let's just say, you know, not to scale, but this is the whole thing. Right about halfway through, there's like a little lip that goes around, and that is up to where you should put the towels in. Don't put it in too hard, because if you put in too many and make it too tight, it'll not reset properly. And I kind of learned that the hard way. I had to go back in and fix it, and now he works totally fine. So yeah, there's that. But aside from that,
step right up and pick a card.
The only thing I think I actually struggled with,
it seems you've picked the card of death.
Which I did not expect to be a problem at all, but the area, the little cuffs that are on, it's very, very tight, like elastic. And if you know, it's just a really, really hard, I guess, situation in terms of like putting the arms in. But that was actually the only part of his setup that was a little tedious. But with that aside, I think it's about time I demonstrate him. So yeah, here we go.
Wanna play a hand? Stakes are high, and you may lose your life! Time for a trick! Remember this card. It'll be the last thing you'll ever see! Step right up and pick a card. It seems you've picked the card of death. Wanna play a hand? Stakes are high, and you may lose your life! Time for a trick! Remember this card. It'll be the last thing you'll ever see. Step right up and pick a card. It seems you've picked the card of death. Wanna play a hand? Stakes are high, and you may lose your life! Time for a trick! Remember this card. It'll be the last thing you'll ever see. Step right up and pick a card. It seems you've picked the card of death.
Alright, there is his demo. As you guys can see, I made sure the head popped up a lot faster than it would have originally by putting in the paper towels and everything. And yeah, I mean, overall, he works great, he looks great, and I'm really happy with him. You know, it's something, even though he came out last year, something about owning him now just feels so fresh. And I'm really excited to use him this year. I'm not sure what exactly I'm going to be doing with my display this year, since I do have a lot of clown stuff now, and my plans weren't to do any clown related themes or anything like that, but maybe I'm going to have to try and do something along those lines, so stay tuned for that. But back on topic with him, once again, what a creative prop. I mean, like, the jump scare with the fake out head and the whole kind of thing with him playing cards and the outfit he has is just so unique, and it's such a visually, like, appealing prop. Especially, too, these shoes. They didn't opt out for something more simple like that. They went all out with them, and they did a whole unique sculpt, you know, and everything on them, and they just look so cool. Especially with them being two different colors. I love that about him. The attention to detail on this guy is just fantastic, and it's one I really appreciate. And one of my favorite modern spirit props of the past few years. Just as much as well, not just as much, but, like, once again, just kind of like how I think Bog Zombie is such a phenomenal zombie prop. This is just such a great clown prop. I mean, like, once again, there's nothing like him out there that's been released ever, you know, over the past few years, and it's really nice to see that. You know, I love the creativity with him, and I really hope we get more props like that, like, you know, like him, with the creativity and that just complete unique style of the jump scare, you know, he has. Not saying I want to see this jump scare reused, but you know what I mean. Like, I liked what they were going with this, or I like the creativity, you know, behind this, and I hope that we see a little more of it trickle out in recent years, because this year for Spirit was pretty cool, but I didn't see any wacky ideas like this, and it's kind of sad, because I was hoping to see some more, you know, completely original stuff this year, but it was all a little bit toned down, which is a little disappointing. But still a very cool year for Spirit, and really like a lot of the stuff, but really wish we saw more stuff like him. Henry is just such a really awesome prop, and even his audio, I love the way his voice sounds. I don't know how to explain it, but it's weirdly robotic, and that's what I think I like about him. He kind of reminds me of an automaton clown, kind of like how Wally does. Stuff like that, I like that, and that's what I really like about him, because he gives me those vibes. He is definitely more human seeming, or more alive seeming than Wally to me, but yeah, I'm kind of jumping all over the place here, but yeah, regardless, this guy is just a phenomenal clown prop, and if you ever have any chance to get him, please go for it. I mean, like, if you really want him. So yeah, overall, what an awesome prop. I don't have much else to say about this guy. I'm just gonna keep rambling about other stuff the more I film. So yeah, I hope you guys like this review, unboxing, setup, whatever, and I'll see you in the next video.